in math class, we are going to be talking about number lines and working together as partners. Now, this year it's a little bit different when we work together as partners because we can't use the same kind of stuff together like we have been able to do it in years past. But that's okay because there's still ways that we can work together even if we can't work with a partner person directly, okay? So we'll talk about that. So for lesson 1, 2, we're mainly talking about working with a partner, how to solve addition, adding, and subtraction number stories, which is subtracting, and representing whole number sums and differences on a number line. So in basic human words, what that means is today we're going to practice using a number line to add and subtract. Nothing really new. We've done that before. You probably did it in first grade. Well, I know you did it in first grade. You may have even done it in kindergarten, depending on where you were for kindergarten, okay? We're going to use a number line today. Before we get started, though, we're going to do our bell ringer, get our brain thinking for math real quick. So let me click my next screen here. All right, here we go. Bell ringer, ding, 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 ding. Get our brains thinking about math. Who thinks that they can count by twos starting at 0? Who thinks that they can count by twos starting at 0? Angelina, do you think you can count by twos starting at 0? Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead. Let me hear you.
2, 4, 6, 8, 12,
10,
10,
12, 14,
14,
6,
16, 18, 20.
Good job. Awesome, awesome. Who thinks that they can count by 5 starting at 0? Logan, you want to give it a try?
0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 70, 75, 80,
Ooh, 50, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Very good. Who thinks that they can count by 10s beginning at 0? Derek, give it a try. 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 80, 90, 100. There you go. You could do it. Hocus pocus focus. Now, getting our brains thinking a little bit more. We're going to count by 2s, 5s, and 10s, but we're going to start at a different number. So let me start at the number, let me start at the number 8. Who thinks that they can count by 2s starting at the number 8? Ooh, Rosemary, you want to give it a try?
8, 10, 12,
Keep going. 14,
14, 16, 18, 20.
Good. And then we can keep going, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40. We keep going till the dinosaurs come home. All right. What about counting by 5 starting at 15? Who thinks they can count by 5 starting at 15? I'm going to roll you back just a little bit here, friends, so you can see the screen a little better. Zayden, you want to give that a try? Count by 5 starting at 15?
Yeah.
Okay, give it a try. Derek, eyes up here. Not in your desk. There's nothing in your desk that you need. Eyes are up here. 15, 20, 25, 30.
35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100.
Fantastic. Nice job. All right, Jake, your turn. You're going to count by 10s starting at 30. Nice loud. Right, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Derek, guys are up here. All right, now we're going to count backwards by twos. Now, we're going to count backwards by twos together because this gets a little bit tricky. So we're going to practice this one together. We'll start at, it says starting at numbers in the hundreds. I want to just practice counting by twos starting with the number 10. Okay, so let's start with 10 and count back by twos. All right, I'm going to say it, you're going to say it. 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 0. Right, so we're counting backwards, remember, friends. All right, we're going to count back by fives, only we're going to start at 45 and count back by fives. I'm going to start it. You're going to repeat it. 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, 0. Awesome. Zayden, I can hear you nice at home. Fantastic. I'm glad you're participating with us. Wonderful job. You'll earn an extra dojo point for that. Now we're going to count by tens backwards.
Okay, this is going to be easy.
Starting at 90. I'm going to say 90 first, and you're going to repeat me. 90. 80. 70. 60. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 0. Fantastic, friends. All right, now that our brains are thinking about pattern numbers, we're going to think a little bit more. Now, here's our math message for today. Our math message always kind of gets our brain thinking about what today's lesson is going to be about. And I had already explained to you that today's lesson is going to be practicing using a number line to add and subtract, but we're also going to talk about working with a partner. Obviously, we can't work with a partner right now this year, but we still can come up with ways that we can work together. Because we aren't just working on our own in our own little happy bubble all the time. We are still either in a classroom where there's a lot of people, or we are at home watching, still kind of in the classroom with us. And so we're still working together. So let's come up with some ways that we can still work together as a group, even as a small group, that would be respectful to everybody else that is around us, whether we're at home or whether we're here at school. Gwen, do you have an idea?
Like, since we're like kind of close, we could maybe we could talk from the side to side from each other.
Right, and so we are sitting a little bit close together in the classroom. We're still safe apart, which is what we're supposed to be. We still are close enough that you could turn and talk to a partner if it's a turn and talk time. When we're talking to a partner in the classroom, how should we be talking to that partner? What's a good way to talk to that partner? Logan? We should use a quiet voice, right? Doesn't have to be so quiet that nobody can hear you. Because if nobody can hear you, then it doesn't make any sense. You can just use your regular inside talking voice. We don't need to yell because we're not that far away. Even though we're a little separated, it's not like we're on two sides of the building, right? Mm-hmm. Now, if I'm working with a partner, or even if I'm working in a small group, or even right now, I'm the one talking right now. So if I am talking, you should be doing what? Listening, right. And if you start talking, then it's my turn to listen. Derek, it's your turn to listen when somebody is talking. So it's a good idea to look and listen right now, okay? When it's not your turn to talk, it's your job to listen. So even if you were the first person to talk and you're working with a partner or you're working with a group, even if your turn is already done, It doesn't mean your turn is done all the way. Your job is still to be listening. A good partner or a good group worker listens to what everybody else has to say. Okay? Think about how frustrating that would be. As if you wanted to say something and somebody was just playing in their desk or pulling on their name tag, or they turned and started talking to somebody else, and you're trying to do your turn and give your answer. Think of how frustrating that would be if that happened to you. So you don't want that to happen to you, so don't do it to somebody else, right?
And then you'll have to.
Now, how else can we work together? When I'm talking and you feel like you need to say something, I see Yanessa doing it right now, so I'm going to call on her in just a second. But when I'm talking and you have an answer that you want to give me, or maybe you have a question that you want to ask me, or maybe you want to say something back to me, what's the best way to get my attention during that time? Oh, Jake's doing it right now. Yanessa, do you know what I'm talking about? What am I talking about?
Raising your hand.
Yes, raising your hand. Fantastic, all of those of you that just raised your hand. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Even those of you at home, when you want my attention, I'm looking right at you. Woo! Okay, I'm right there. I can see you. You're right front and center. It's like you're the very first person in the class. So I can see all of you on my screen. When you need my attention too, you can raise your hand, maybe wiggle it a little bit if you really need my attention. And that's great. Now, also, just a second, Yanessa. Also, friends at home, I know that you aren't sitting with us, but one way that you can help when I'm talking is you keep yourself muted. And you guys are doing a fantastic job keeping yourself muted when I'm talking. Because it's hard to hear when there's lots of noise sometimes, isn't it? And when we can't hear, we miss directions, okay? Yanessa, did you have something to add? What would you like to add?
Don't be mean to the teacher.
Say that again, sweetie.
Don't be mean to the teacher.
Oh, yeah, well, don't be mean to anybody, but especially not Mrs. Tucker. Don't be mean to the teacher,
no.
she said. Yeah. But that would be disrespectful to anybody. If I'm talking or you're talking and I don't listen to you or you don't listen to me, that's just part of being respectful and having respect for everybody, okay? So there are ways that we can still work together, even if we're not working right together side by side, sharing the same tools, sitting at the same desk. So Logan, right now, your best thing would be to turn around and face this direction. And Derek, your best thing would be to face this direction too, because that's part of working together and following directions. Your eyes should be up here, not behind you or in your desk. All right? All right, moving on. Now, here are some rules. If we were working more with partners, we'd talk about that. I want you to get out your math book. We have it in our desks or at home. It looks like this. It's the one that does not have holes on the side. Nobody here at school should have the one that has holes on the side. They should have all gone in your backpacks to go home. Except for Jake. Jake, yours might still be in your desk, but I'm pretty sure it went home. It's the one that does not have holes. Are there no holes? Then that's the one we're looking for, okay? And we looked at this yesterday. Remember, we opened up to the back cover of our book. And you're going to find the back cover of the book looks a lot like this. And I know those of you at home, the screen's kind of glary, so it's harder to see. But your back cover of the book is what's right here on the screen. So go to the inside back cover of the book. Remember, we had some tools on the back cover and on the front cover, but we're going to look at the back cover today, okay? So, you can have this back cover be open while we do some practice adding and subtracting today, all right? You can have it be open because the whole idea is today, down at the bottom, where you see the number line, we have two number lines. We have a little one right underneath the number grid, and we have a slightly bigger one right underneath that. You can use either one of those, and they are always there in your book for you to use. So you can open up your book and make sure it's even nice and flat if that helps. Put it flat down on your desk, push it open so it stays nice and open. Now, I think when I click the screen, it's going to take that away. but you should still have it in front of you on your book. All right, so I'm going to ask some math problems. And we are going to practice using the number line to answer those math problems, okay? So, the first math problem that I'm going to ask is Angela had $14. She earned $5 more. How much money does Angela have now? Now, first of all, let me think. Think. Am I going to make my number get bigger, or am I going to make my number get smaller for this one? What do you think? Bigger or smaller? What do you think? Rosemary, what do you think?
I'm pretty sure you're getting it bigger because you're adding more to that number.
Yeah, I want to make it get bigger, so I'm adding more. So I'm going to actually click back on my screen so you guys can see the number line a little bit better. Can I make this bigger? Let me see if I can make this bigger. Oh, I can't make this bigger. Oh, boogers. Okay, that didn't work the way I wanted it to work. So I'm gonna draw maybe a quick number line here. Okay. Woo! Woo! With my finger, because I still can't find the pen that works. There we go. Oh, that's a really scribbly number line. Holy smokes. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to make sure when I count on the number line that I'm going up the number line, starting at the left and going to the right. But where should I start for this problem? What number should I start on for this problem, Jake? All right, Jake, open up your book. Make it flat open so you have the book in front of you. So you have the back cover. I'm going to read the problem again, Jake, and you're going to see if you can tell me where I'm going to start for this problem. It says Angela had $14. She earned $5 more. How much money does Angela have now? Where do I want to start for this problem? I'm going to start on 14. Now I'm using my number line, Jake, so you want to go down to the bottom where the number line is. I don't have a number line on my screen right now because it won't let me make it bigger. But you're using the number lines down at the bottom of your book. So make sure you're looking down at the bottom of your book. Don't use the number grid today. Use the number line today. You can start at 14, and we're hopping up 5 more. You can use your finger. That's your number grid. You don't want to use your number grid. You want to use your number line. Use your number line. Start at 14 and hop up 5 more. If Angela had $14 and she earned $5 more, Kaden, how much money does she have right now? Use your number line. Start at 14, hop up 5 more. How much money does she have right now? What do you think, Kaden? How much money does she have right now? Start at 14. Use your number line, Kaden. Start at 14. Hop up 5 more. She has $19 right now. So I'm going to make a dollar sign because we're talking about money. She has $19 right now. Good. All right. Now we have Joe. Still using our number line in the back of our book. Joe had 10 crayons. While cleaning his room, he found 7 more crayons. How many crayons does Joe have? Now, is my number going to get bigger or smaller for this one? What do you think, Logan? Is my number going to get bigger or smaller for this one?
Bigger.
Bigger, right, because he found 7 more. So it's going to get bigger. So where should I start for this one, Derek? What number do I want to start on for this one? Not 7. I want to start on 10 because Joe had 10 crayons and he found 7 more. So, Derek, put your finger on 10 on the number line down at the bottom. Down at the bottom, use your number lines. Start at 10 and count 7 more. Jake, you're doing it too, buddy. Get your book up off the floor. Start at 10, count 7 more. If I start at 10 and I count 7 more. Yanessa, how many do I have?
15.
Oh, you're close. Not quite 15. Derek, how many do I have? 17. Now Joe has 17 crayons. 17. Okay? All right. Now, we can use number lines for adding, but now we can also use number lines for subtracting. You can use it both ways. You go forward, go up on the number line, or you can go backward, go down on the number line. Melissa made 12 muffins for the party. Her friends ate 8 muffins. How many muffins did Melissa have left? So is my number going to get bigger or is my number going to get smaller this time, Kaden? My number is going to get smaller this time. So where should I start, Jake? Hey, Jake, do me a favor. Open your book. Lay it flat out and don't touch it anymore. And then I'm going to read the problem again. You're going to tell me what number I'm going to start on. Eyes and ears are up here all the time. Melissa made 12 muffins for the party. Her friends ate 8 muffins. How many muffins did Melissa have left? Kaden, your book should be open too, so you have your number line. So where should I start, Jake?
12.
I'm going to start on 12. I'm going to go up or am I going to go down this time on the number line, Jake? I'm going down because we're taking away 8 of those muffins. Derek, over your nose, buddy. So if I start at 12 and I go backwards 8, how many muffins does Melissa have left for her party? How many muffins does she have left for her party, Alina?
4.
She has 4 muffins left. All right, and one more. Emily had 16 toy monkeys. Derek, up here. Open your book so it's right in front of you. Not flipped closed. Thank you. Emily had 16 toy monkeys. She gave 4 to her brother. How many toy monkeys does she have now? Is my number going to get bigger or is my number going to get smaller this time? Yanessa, what do you think?
It's going to get smaller.
It is going to get smaller. Where am I starting on the number line this time, friends? Emily had 16 toy monkeys. She gave 4 to her brother. How many toy monkeys does she have now? Where do I want to start on my number line this time, Gwen?
16.
I'm starting at 16. Gwen, should I count up or should I count back?
Back.
I am going to count back. Very good. If I start at 16 and I count back, Logan, how many toy monkeys does she have now? I'm going to start at 16, Logan, on the number line. Start at 16 and count back 4. How many toy monkeys does she have? Yep, start at 16 and count back 4.
11.
Not 11, but you are so very close. Yanessa, how many monkeys does she have now?
She has 12.
She has 12 monkeys now. Nice job, friends. She does. She would have 12 toy monkeys. So right now, remember that these are in the book that we can practice using them, okay? The number grid and the number line are great resources right now. Good practice right now. Keep in mind, though, they're not always going to be there. So as we go on in math and our brains get stronger and stronger in math, we're going to start learning ways to add and subtract without having these in front of us. When you go to 3rd grade, number lines and number grids disappear.
What?
So we're going to practice learning how to do adding and subtracting without using any kinds of number lines. Okay. Now, what I'd like you to do, actually, the rest of this activity is actually a game that we cannot play together in the way that it's supposed to be played. But that doesn't mean that we don't have to play the game. The great thing about everyday math is you can find it on your iPad. So let me click through here real quick. Let me make sure. Okay. So on your iPad, we are going to play, I didn't say get your iPad out. Just stop and listen. On your iPad, and friends at home, you'll have to wait and do this once we finish this up. We're going to play a game called Number Line Squeeze.
Oh, yeah.
Now, friends at home, the way you're going to find this on your iPad is when you go on the front part of the iPad, not the Clever. It's not in Clever. It's on the front part of the iPad. You're going to find a little red schoolhouse. When you tap on that little red schoolhouse, you'll have to find Mrs. Tucker, 2020, 2021. I think it's down near the bottom. And tap on that, and you'll put your code in. Your code is on the card that I sent home. Okay? And then you can find in the math section, it should bring up today's lesson. I think it'll bring up lesson 1 too. Down at the very bottom of that lesson, there should be a little icon that says games. I think it's a blue box that'll say games. Now, let me show you what it will look like when you get into that part of your iPad. So your screen will look something like this. It'll say welcome, whatever your name is, hopefully. And down at the bottom, in the blue box, these are the games. So today we're playing a game called Number Line Squeeze. And it's just a way to practice using the number line. When you first click on games, it's going to show you grade 2. It's not in grade 2 because it's actually a game that we started playing in first grade. So you're going to find it by clicking on the Skill Builder tab. When you click on the Skill Builder tab, you will find it as being the second one all the way over in the left-hand column, Number Line Squeeze. Okay? So for the rest of today's lesson, that's pretty much what we would be doing here in the classroom. Is just practicing playing the game Number Line Squeeze. But since we can't use the number lines and everything the same way that we normally would, we get to do it on our iPads today, okay? So, any questions about what you're going to be doing? Now, friends at home too, another thing that I want you to do today is when you're done playing Number Line Squeeze for a little bit, or you could do it first, I want you to go into Extra Math. And there's directions in Seesaw how to get to it. On the same page that you found today's lesson link, there's another page that tells you how to get into Extra Math in Clever. If you want to look for the blue owl that's in the pink box, tap on that blue owl in the pink box in Clever, and you're going to find a gray and yellow X. When you open up that gray and yellow X, it should be Extra Math. It should take you right to your name, and you're going to practice doing some fact fluency. We started out already this morning doing it a little bit, but it's something that you can do after our math lesson today, okay? So, any questions? Anybody at home have any questions? All right. Thank you, friends at home, for coming in. Enjoy playing some Number Line Squeeze, and I will see you later this afternoon for some closing circle stuff, all right? Capiche? All right. See you later, friends. And let me end our directions here.